Hi there, it's Charlotte again, just doing a quick pickups video. I'm still up north and they have a lot of game shops here, to be fair. More than I would say down south, maybe just because, you know, rental prices are a lot cheaper. But I had a little wander the other day, had a bit of an explore on the retro shops of the northeast sort of area. So kind of sticking to sort of Durham and Cleveland. And I must say, I was quite surprised. So I'll give a little lowdown on the kind of shops we've got up here, and I'll link them below if they've got websites or just kind of where they are in general. So one place which is a bit weird is Stockton, Stockton-on-Tees, which is just by Middlesbrough, and basically they're kind of like a haven for retro games. So you've got one which is like the most famous, which is they've got massive chips that basically specialises in retro games. Now these guys, they kind of buy their games from everywhere and then sell them on, which I'm not a massive fan of, and apparently they go to all the boot sales, buy all their games there and then sell them. It does mean that they have a massive range of games, but they are kind of eBay prices, which is a bit of a shame. Like they've got Eye of the Beholder 2, I think it is, on the MegaCD, but it's like £65. It's like, another place that Stockton has is a nice little shop called Retrosoft. These are just on an alleyway on the kind of off the high street, and they're small at the moment, but the guy that runs it is really cool. He kind of refurbishes consoles, and they've also got someone there that does custom shells for consoles as well, which is really cool. They've just got a little shop at the moment, but I think that, you know, they're kind of steadily growing. Another thing that kind of helps is that up here, every town has a CEX, every town has a Granger Games, every town has a cash converters or a cash generator, and it just makes kind of finding games, you know, very easy, which is really cool. So when I was in Stockton last, what did I get? Hartlepool. What did I not get anything from Stockton? No, so I haven't actually got anything from Stockton this time. I did last time round. What were they from Stockton? No, these were from Stockton, there we go. So the last time I went to Stockton it was pissing it down with rain. However, I did manage to find these in Cash Generator. So I've got Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike. These were both £1 each. Unfortunately, Nuclear Strike doesn't have the instruction manual, but I didn't realise that at the time. Because they sellotape all their games up, so you can't actually see. But they were £1 each, so you know, you can't knock that. Then another place that's not really big for games, but there's a Hartlepool. Hartlepool, which is kind of, is it down or is it up? They've got chips in Hartlepool. They're not a retro specialist, however they do have a few retro games. I got a copy of Garfield Caught in the Act. This was £4. Apparently it's quite rare. None of their games seem to go on rarity prices, so kind of if they've got games they're all sort of this amount, so I thought that was quite cool. This is like mint in the box as well, which is really nice. And they also have a load of TurboGrafx games. Now we don't have a TurboGrafx, however I couldn't say no to this as soon as I saw the front box art, and that's really pretty. A kind of very art, oh what's the style? Bloody what's his face. This was actually £10, which, you know, but it's sealed and new, and it just looked really nice, so I thought as a treat I'd get it for myself. The guy knocked it down as well because they've just changed management and they don't really know what most of the stock is, especially the TurboGrafx games, so that was quite cool. They had like a few other games there, but none that is as cool as Tailspin. Again in Hartlepool they've got the kind of CEX, Cash Generator, Granger Games, all that. So I went into CEX and got a copy of 20 to Party. This is just a little Japanese game that came over here from, I don't think it's from the Simple series, I'm not sure. But it's basically just a compilation game of 20 mini games. I've been quite addicted to picking up all these weird little Japanese games recently, so it was quite cool to see that. It was £1.50, so it wasn't too bad. And then in the Cash Generator there, they'd just gotten out a load of PlayStation 1 games, which was cool. So I had a little look around. They were only 80p each as well, which is really good. A copy of Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit. I got this because Tim worked on the latest one, which was really cool. And I thought, well, he might like if I picked up the original, so that was 80p. And then I got a couple of these, like the value, they were kind of value games. So you'd get 2 games in one for the same price. So this was cool because I do like a bit of Rainbow Six. So with that, you got Rainbow Six and Rogue Spear, and then there'd be like their special discs. I like it because they're nice and white. And then the manual for the 2, which is cool, and that's for 80p. And this one I wasn't so chuffed about, so I got Twine and Tomorrow Never Dies. However, unfortunately, it's actually missing Twine, which kind of sucks. So I'll have to find the other disc for that somewhere. But like for 80p, I couldn't be bothered to go back and say, hey, you know, this is missing it. So in my search for retro shops, I went to Chesterley Street. Now this is near Durham, and they have a little shop called Video Gaming 24/7. It's just down the high street. It's kind of really specialist for sort of the area, but they're kind of a local game shop, which is really nice. It does mean some of their new titles are kind of expensive, but they do have some hidden. Actually, no, I've got these in Hartlepool as well. Actually, I'll say those in a bit. So I went to Video Gaming 24/7. They're a very small chain. They've got 2 shops up here, but they're such nice people, and they've got like a nice little selection of things. So I picked up this. This is the photo CD system for the Saturn, which meant that you could use your photo CDs in your Saturn. Apparently this is quite hard to get a hold of now, and it was about £3, so I was like, okay. And it's like really nice, and the box isn't coming apart from the looks of it, which is really weird for a Saturn game. Yeah, it's actually holding together. So that was really cool. And then a copy of Lands of Lore, which is a Westwood game, back when Westwood was still around. This was kind of off the success of the success of the Eye of the Beholder games, which Westwood had made. So it's kind of a first-person dungeon crawler, go to screen, go to screen, go to screen. So that's really cool, and I wanted to get that. That was about £3 as well, I think it was. And Patrick Stewart's in it. Yeah. Okay, the next thing I kind of bought was a bit of an impulse buy, to be fair. I just wanted it for the sake of it. So we have a lot of Game & Watch games. However, what we don't have is a panorama screen. So the panorama screens were really nice. They were towards the end of the Game & Watch cycle. Sorry. However, what makes them unique is you're not actually playing on a screen, but you're playing on a mirror that's mirroring the screen. So as you can see there, it's a really nice screen. Hopefully you can see this. I'm not sure if you can. But it looks really, really nice. It's also super hard as well. Like all the later games in the Game & Watch were all super hard and a bit obscure. That I paid a bit too much for, but I really wanted it, and it looks really nice. So something I missed off with Hartlepool is, so I've noticed that a lot of Wilkinsons are getting rid of their games. Now Wilkinsons is like kind of what Woolies used to be, I guess. And so like Wii games, DS games, PS3, Xbox 360, they're all £2 at the moment. Sorry, if you're lucky, they'll still have some. So as you can see there, I bought 5 games for £2 each, so 5 games for a tenner, which is really cool. 3 of them I actually traded in to CEX and got £11 for. So I kind of made double my money almost, and that will go towards buying other games, so that's cool. What is that? I got Alice in Wonderland on the DS, like the Tim Burton game. Wolverine's Revenge and Tomb Raider Underworld on the PS3, and those were all £2, but I didn't really want them. I've got Tomb Raider on the 360 and the DS games that I wouldn't play. Then I also got Ivy the Kiwi, which is like a puzzle game from, is it Yuji Naka, the Sonic guy? And Rogue Warrior on the 360. I haven't actually even taken them out of their packaging yet. I don't get the time to play games very much. Not for supply in the UK. That's a bit weird. but you know, £2. It's really good for the current generation of games. The chap who sold me some Game Boy Color games the other day, he had some N64 games that he raided out of his loft when he went back home. So I've got a copy of Buck Bumble on the N64. These are like mint and box, which is really nice. And a copy of Diddy Kong Racing. Now we've got Diddy Kong already, but not in a box with instructions and everything, so he wasn't asking too much, so I thought I'd get him. And then just the other day I went to the local CEX on my lunch and picked up 2 games that I couldn't say no to. Now, I know CEX don't usually have a very good range of games, however their PC sections can usually be quite good if you're into PC gaming like me. So I got a copy of this, which no one's heard of anymore. Like, this used to be massive back when Simon & Schuster used to make games, well, publish games. This is Deer Avenger 2, sequel to Deer Avenger. I think there were 4 games in this series that got made. This was like a parody on the Deer Hunter series, and you were a deer and you killed humans instead. That was 10p, and for 10p I got game, you know? And then I also got XCOM Enforcer, possibly the worst use of the XCOM license, but for 50p. I spent 60p and got 2 games. How crazy is that? Now those are both for PC. But yeah, I mean that's it really. I do like, up in the north, they have a lot of game shops. Sorry, yeah, I'm a bit surprised to be fair. Like in the south we seem to be running out of game shops quite a bit. However, you know, the north is still going pretty strong to be fair. Oh, I also got all those as well. So when I went to Video Gaming 24/7 in Chesley Street, they actually sold loads of posters from like old marketing posters and stuff like that. And all the posters were £1 each, so I had a nice rumble through. Max Payne 3. Double-sided LA Noire. A lovely Rayman Origins. A massive Future Soldier. You probably won't be able to see all these posters, like they won't fit in on my little lens. Then Assassin's Creed Revelations. And a nice double-sided Deus Ex. So those were really cool. Those were all £1 each. And I kind of rated them with all their good posters, to be fair. And it's really cool when you get posters. I do have a bit of a poster collection that will never be used, but just, you know, they're cool. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, hopefully, I don't like spending money, but sometimes I just can't help myself, unfortunately. And I'll see you again for some more pickups, I guess. See ya!